There's a difference between being one in a million and one of a million. For some, unique is the selling point. But just because you're unique doesn't mean you're useful. Nobody wants to be a faceless nobody. Everyone wants to be somebody. Everyone wants to be part of the group, but nobody wants to be exactly like everyone else. Can't we be both? It's similar to the idea of quality versus quantity. It seems impossible for anything to be both. Henry Ford wanted to provide quality and quantity, so he reimagined the assembly line, which could turn out identical cars quickly and efficiently. Ford has a quote.
Any customer can have a car painted any color that he wants so long as it's black.
People generally resist the idea that they are the same as these cars, rolling off some societal production line, which Latour would argue against. On August 12, 1908, the first production Model T rolled off the assembly line. Not quite 20 years later, the 15 millionth left the factory. Ford was not only making cars, and money, he was helping people achieve the American dream. But what exactly is this authentic American dream? Is it settling down and owning a house with a white picket fence with the girl of your dreams? Or the guy of your dreams? Maybe the cat of your dreams? Is it being equal and afforded the same privileges as everyone else? Or is it having enough money and guns to be able to be properly prepared for the zombie apocalypse? America is made up from many different kinds of people, so America and the American dream is different for everyone.
America is many things to many people. To a 17-year-old kid, it's the malt shop on the corner. To Grandpa, it's the front porch in the cool of the evening. To Mother and her family, it's church on Sunday morning. And to Dad, it's his favorite relaxation. It's the Cracker Barrel philosophers in Crabtree Corners. And it's the tycoons in Wall Street. It's all races, creeds, and religions.
Sure, those are all different kinds of people, if a bit stereotypical. Stereotyping makes people different from other ethnicities and colors, but makes them all the same within each group. People want to be distinctive, special, a little different than everyone else, but not too different. People want to be individuals, they think. When most people classify themselves as an individual, they're speaking of the faded idea of defining their authentic selves versus the societal roles they play. Not just revealing themselves without makeup on, or without anything on, but who they really are, underneath it all. The one thing that they are that no one else is or knows. The common idea is that an individual is a singularity, not as violent as the celestial singularity, but something similar to indivisible, unable to be divided, a constant reacting to a variety of stimuli. This idea severely limits our abilities and interactions with others, makes us weak, mild-mannered. Think of what we could do if there were only another part or side to who we are. Hollywood has revealed our need for and love of just such characters. It's a hybrid. Something bred from two distinct species or subspecies. No, not quite. Try again. It doesn't have to be fake, it could be a liger. Yes, ligers are real. But it is mostly fake hybrid combinations that are prevalent in pop culture. From earlier, simple combinations that are fairly self-explanatory to a half-human, half-vampire and half-werewolf, then half-vampire werewolf and half-vampire, which is a different level of hybrid altogether. Half-gremlin and half-vegetable, half-alien, half-predator, half-alien, half-human, taken after a number of failed attempts, from combined DNA before Ripley died and, well, you'd have to see the movie. And aren't these aliens themselves hybrids? They do come out different depending on the host in which they gestate, like the dog in Alien 3. That makes them kind of parasitic. Okay, let's blend a human with a virus. Let's do it twice, and make them fight to see which one is better. This virus idea is actually similar to the way humans are seen in Cyclonopedia. Even the Earth is considered a parasite. We are feeding off the sun's energy, altering its purpose and twisting it to fit our own needs and desires, tunneling and defining the world in which we live. Come to think of it, if we had the strategic openness discussed in the end of the book, maybe the term would be out-dividual rather than individual. Anyway, back to hybrids. Sometimes the hybrids are accidental. Sometimes they're born this way. Better. Or born in a petri dish that way. Sometimes there's a process that makes them a hybrid later in their lives. Even cars are wanting to get into the act nowadays. Others are created intentionally to form a bond between two worlds, or to take over a world. Whether fighting or making peace, the purpose of these hybrids is always the same: to transcend boundaries believed to be impassable by a normal human, to bridge the gap between two different networks or worlds. The hybrid has a level of power we feel we are generally without. What many don't realize or acknowledge is that every individual is actually a unique individual made up of so many different parts and pieces and able to interact and exist on many different levels. We're the dust described in Cyclonopedia. Hey, we're the... Fine, fine. But it's true. Don't believe me? Well, here's an example, and we don't even need to leave Tinseltown to find it. Just take a look at Mr. Eddie Murphy. In several different movies, he's played several different roles. Main character, main character's mother, main character's father, main character's grandmother and grandfather. In another, he is both the overbearing wife and the browbeaten husband. He's even a donkey. It is still him in every instance, but he reacts differently based on the dynamics of the situation and the other people involved. This could then extend to other actors. Well then, we are all actors really. Unpaid actors, or at least not paid for our acting. Or rather, our daily acting isn't acknowledged as acting when performed in other professions, such as customer service. But according to Latour, kinda, it's determining the difference between social roles and authentic roles. It is acknowledging that we are comprised of many different parts rather than a single thing, but we're unique in our composition and divisibility. Alone, as one person, we represent a network. Beneath the surface, we are made of a number of different systems: skeletal system, nervous system, circulatory system, digestive system, and in that one, there are all these little bacteria and live cultures helping it to function. Just ask Jamie Lee Curtis. All these systems working in tandem to create us. We are parents, children, students, teachers, lawbreakers, owners, consumers. The list goes on and on. Hey, in Cyclonopedia, we're even parasites and prey to demons and fertilizer and... Basically, while hybrids are great, they're not as needed as we think. They are great symbols for transcending boundaries and pop culture, but in truth, we are all hybrids, combining more than two distinct peoples or ideas. We are networks. We are Dividual individuals.